Okay.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Everyone Talks podcast.
Yes. Welcome back.
Another episode coming at you right now.
Yes.
So we watched our last podcast. It was really good. We talked about like cedar sessions and kind of dove into that world a little bit. It's a shorter podcast, but we just wanted to do it and talk about it and let you guys know what's happening there.
I mean, we made it short because it could be really long, so you're welcome.
You're welcome. So for this podcast, we're going to dive into our trip to California.
Which we briefly, just like for a minute.
We did briefly for a minute.
But this is like a full
talk about it. But we just kind of wanted to open up the conversation to talk about grief and to talk about processing a lot of emotions.
And how to handle it, yeah.
I'm still processing it. I'm still figuring out my emotions. I could cry about it right now. But I wanted to talk about it because I feel that this could hopefully encourage someone or bless someone. And
there's a lot going on.
Let them know that you don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
So recently my grandfather passed away, and that was really hard. We've never had anybody in our family
like that close,
at least to me, pass away. My uncle passed away as well, but we for me it was a little bit harder to be to have a lot of history with him because I was so young, and then we all moved away, and so I just didn't have.
You hadn't seen him.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and so it hurt. It just didn't hurt like it did with my grandfather.
Because you were a lot closer with him.
Yeah, and we lived in their house for a while. There was so many memories and attached to like who we are because of him. Like the history of faith that he gave us. And
why don't you kind of go through that, like explain that history?
Yeah, so my grandfather, when he was younger, he grew up in Mexico, married my grandmother, started having kids, and the way my grandmother explained it is my grandfather felt a call from the Lord to come to America and experience what God was doing. And he trusted God, left my grandma in Mexico, went to the border, and somehow got in without any documentation, which was just like a God thing. Someone helped him get in, and he didn't do it like he wasn't jumping a border or anything like that, but it was like he was talking to an officer, and the officer helped him and got him in, and before you know it, he was at a church, and he just started preaching from his heart, just passionately, and they wanted to make him the pastor, like within the week, within the month, something like that. And so eventually he had to call back for my grandmother, and it was just like craziness. So like my grandfather was always a man of stepping out on faith, of trying something, and eventually moved to California, where I was born and where I was a little bit raised, and we lived with them, and again just kind of grew up going to their church in Southern California, LA area, Chino, Ontario, Pomona. And so it was hard because we'll take a quick break.
A light went out.
It's not supposed to. I don't think they're on timers. Okay.
All right. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Where was I at?
Where you were raised, we were talking about, and then...
Yeah, so we were raised, and I just, at a really young age, I felt this connection to my grandfather because for me, it was like the way he would just say my name. And I think the crazy part is he did that for every grandchild. There was just a way he knew how to have a relationship with us. And I don't remember once my grandfather being upset. That's the crazy part, is I just remember him laughing or having a good time. And so when we had found out they passed away, it was just very heartbreaking. I mean, I went through it. I think I'm still going through it. You know, being angry, being upset, and then being confused
yeah.
and like, wait, that's not how it's supposed to happen, or, you know, just a lot of emotions that I still feel like it's not fair, or I don't understand how this could have happened at this time. And
Yeah.
but it was so good to go to California. And you got to experience it with
Yeah,
me.
it
That
was-
was even more special to me. That we were able to go and be with family and really get our hearts. How can I say it? Like,
It's like going back to like where you're from, and that and like bringing me and like
it was
our
like
baby,
reliving
like,
it. That's
yeah,
the word.
it's
It was like reliving something
Yeah.
so special that my grandfather gave
Yeah,
to
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And coping with my
It's
cousins.
like it fills
and,
that little bit like in your heart because it's like this is familiar. Like it's a good, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a good familiar. I don't know how do you say it. Familiarity.
Familiarity.
There you go. Like it's just like that's where you're from, and it's so like warming because like it's where your grandma's at. That's where, you know, like.
Which was also hard because I mean,
Yeah.
I you know, when you lose someone you love, you try to make a million excuses for, well, I should have been there, or, you know, I should have
done this.
I should have done this, or I should have called more, and I should have FaceTime more. You know, a million things came to my head, but it was like when we went, there was just this peace. I mean, like, all my cousins, no one had that in their head. No one was saying that. It was just about being together and being happy and making more memories. There's just a lot of grace that we had for one another, and that's what I loved. And, you know, we got to sing and worship together. We got to, you know, what else did we do? What else did we do?
We ate a lot of good food together. This little elote guy coming around every night and getting some good food.
If you're ever in Southern California, you look out for that guy with that cart.
He's got a little bell. He's like, ding, ding, ding.
And it's not ice cream. It's corn.
It's straight corn. And it's
and
so
it's
good.
He has like pork grinds on the side.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. I mean, they butter that thing up.
So good.
The amount of, what is it? It's cheese, mayonnaise, butter, and then if you want, they have chili. Mm-hmm. It's just so good.
Like, you don't understand. I can't even like
explain it.
Yeah.
They even had the version where it's like it's not on the cob, it's like
in the cup.
In the cup.
Yeah.
It's just
Let me tell you, he made a lot of money that week.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
But it was a win.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was a win.
It was just so fun. Like, it was just so fun. Like, I have never been on, like, to California or really on the West Coast. And just, like, going and experiencing new things, like, with you and with your family. It was just, like, so cool. I definitely want to go back.
Yeah, we will. I mean, the hard part, too, is I think after my grandfather passed away, he was really the main reason everyone was staying in California. And I think a lot of my cousins are going to move to Texas. And but that's a part of it. You know, it opens up new doors. And when someone passes away that you really care about, things change. And that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing. Obviously, what God was doing with my family in California was a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. But God obviously is opening doors for them to move. And yeah, that part is one. I didn't know how beautiful. Like I knew, but I didn't know.
Yeah, as a kid, you don't really pay attention to the sights. You know,
when we went back, it
is
beautiful.
It's like you have the mountain. It's crazy. It looks fake, like the mountains are in the distance. It just looks. It looks like a computer screen saver.
It didn't even look.
It looks so fake.
I mean, we went to, what was that mountain we went to?
Mount Rubio. No, something.
Robidoux? No, it was Rubio.
I thought it had a B in it. Anyways.
No, but Rubio.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Rubido.
Rubio.
I don't know.
But it was like really cool.
I could find out.
It was like it was pretty high, and we could see, I mean,
Oh my gosh, it was.
we could just see really far, and it was like really beautiful.
Yeah.
If I could recommend, go check it out, Mount Rubio. I think that's what it's called.
I'm gonna find out.
I'm not crazy. That's what
That's
it's
fine.
called.
Okay.
But it was like it was a good hike. There was like many ways you could go up, or like a fast way that's really steep, or the long way that's not as steep. And so the majority of our family went out there. We got to have a good time. At the very top, there was a cross, and it was just a really good view.
For sure.
All good. Where'd we go after? It was in downtown Riverside, wasn't it?
What did we do after?
Those donuts.
Yes.
What was
Oh
it
my
called?
gosh, we went to the donut bar.
The donut bar.
Guys, donuts in California.
They're pretty bomb.
Okay, let me just say this. $5 Bakery,
It's good.
they're good.
But I mean, that's really hard to compare them.
No. It's not hard to compare them.
They're so good.
$5 Bakery is really good. But these California donuts, dude, they're huge. Like, they're the size of your head.
Oh, at Donut Bar?
And they have all different types. Like, I just can't even.
It was good. And Mackenzi and I got, like, what, 2?
Yes.
No, we got 3.
Yeah,
And
we
they
got
were,
3.
They were massive. I mean, they were not small. And that was the cool part, too, was just experiencing that with the family. And obviously we had In-N-Out.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Yeah, I've had In-N-Out.
But that's like a classic, you know.
Yeah.
We went to Shakey's Pizza.
Shakey's Pizza, that was good.
That was okay. It was
That
okay.
was-
I've had better pizza,
Yeah,
low key.
for sure.
But it was good.
But the pizza actually was really good. I liked the sauce. It wasn't like regular, just like whatever.
It was
sauce.
okay.
I liked it.
I thought it was good, but it was like, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary that was like, oh my gosh, gotta go back.
No.
But
Where
the
else did
donuts were
we-
good. We cooked a lot.
Oh yeah, we did have some good food.
Yeah, my like aunts and uncles were just
Grilling.
chefing it up. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
They were just grilling, chefing it up. They allowed me to grill, which was really fun. So I pretty much got to grill chicken over this like open fire pit, and they threw like some sort of like grate on it, and so I didn't need the chicken to fall down because the grate had like massive holes for some reason, and so I just threw the foil paper on top of it and cooked the chicken, and it was like, it was so good.
Yeah.
Everybody was pumped about that.
We played volleyball.
Yeah, we did play volleyball.
Okay, let me just tell you the weather. This is kind of like we're not talking about what we were supposed
It's
to
okay.
talk about.
It's okay.
We played volleyball. And okay, if you're from Southern Illinois or in the Midwest area, you know when you step outside your front door, you're on the devil's front porch, right? It's hot, okay, and humid, and it's miserable.
What's the weather like today?
Hot.
90.
It's in the 90s. Next week is supposed to be like 100, 101.
It's disgusting.
And the humidity level is like 97%, okay? So you step outside, you're like drenched in sweat already just by stepping out the front door. We played volleyball for what, like 2 hours?
Yeah, like 2, 3.
And when I tell you, like, we played, it felt good. Like, it felt good. Like, there was no humidity. It was hot, don't get me wrong, but it was like, you were like not really sweating because there's no humidity. Like, we could have not done that here. But it was just so fun because like all the cousins and like your aunt and uncle, and it was just like the younger kids were on the playground. Like,
it was nice.
It was just so fun.
that was one of those days too. Like we had I think it was the second day we were there, right?
Yeah, it was on Monday.
Yeah.
No, Sunday.
No, it was Monday. Because Sunday everybody was getting there, and you know, it was Josh and Chelsea's like first full day.
Okay.
But it was good, like, because the first day we were just at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys were playing volleyball there.
That was the same day.
Was it?
That was the same day.
That's crazy. It doesn't feel like the same day.
That was Sunday. That's what I'm saying.
But it was so much fun.
Because we were playing volleyball and they were like, oh, why don't we just go to the park and play? So we went.
Okay.
Anyways.
But it was so fun. I mean,
It was just
the park we went to was beautiful. Oh, man, I just can't explain it. You got to go check it out. Where we were was pretty much San Bernardino area. It's like Ontario, Chino, Pomona, some really cool spots.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check that out. I would.
We just had like just so much fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
Bless you.
Yeah.
We stayed in a beautiful Airbnb.
We did, and it was right next to some golf course.
Yeah, it was on a golf course.
Well,
it was like part of the golf course.
Yeah, part of the golf course, but it was so pretty.
The view was beautiful.
The window got broken because
it's on a golf. It's like by a golf course. I mean, it's happened before.
But the view was just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother-in-law got the new Mavic Cinema drone, and he was flying it around, and I'm telling you, it looked like a movie where we were. It was so pretty. We saw Top Gun that week, which was like really awesome.
Top Gun.
I saw Top Gun. When I tell you that the whole week we just made memories.
Oh yeah.
That is gonna be a week I remember for the rest of my life, because it wasn't just about like my grandmother wanted. It wasn't just about being sad. It was 100% about
just like
making memories and like enjoying ourselves. I think even the funeral, like, it was 3 days. Guys, when I tell you it was a hard 3 days, it was a hard 3 days, but it was the most beautiful 3 days I've ever experienced. Like, the first day was the visitation.
Like, we were all still, like...
We were all laughing
having fun.
And like, the second day was the actual funeral, and then the third day was the celebration,
which was, like, the worship.
And Mackenzi asked me a question. They're like, does every Hispanic family do this?
Do, like, 3 services?
No, just mine. Just my family does that.
And it's like, so, like, here where we're from, maybe it's, I don't know. But, like, the visitation, like, you'll walk in, you say hi, like, you pass by the family.
Everybody's really quiet.
Everybody's really quiet, like, and you, like, leave. Not at this one. They had food. Everybody was talking and laughing and sharing.
Memories.
Like, I liked it. It was really good. Man, if we would have had all 3 in one day,
it would have been a rough
It would have been from sunrise to sundown.
Yeah.
But they was so fun.
It was fun.
Because we still did stuff, like, during the day.
We had a lot of tamales. That was really good.
Let me just
They were so good. Shout out to my Aunt Miriam for hooking us up with pretty much like a caterer.
Yeah.
Because we kept seeing those ladies again and again. Like, so good. But yeah, we had a blast seeing all my cousins and
and me, like, I've met some of your cousins, but like meeting like all of them was just so fun. And it was like, it wasn't like where you meet a family and you're like really shy and it's like you it takes time to fit in, I guess you could say. No, like, they make you feel like
you're in.
You're in.
Like, if you're in, you're in.
You're
like,
in.
that's it. You don't have to. And that's how I think that's how my grandfather was. Mm-hmm. And that experience you got to have was just so, it was just so refreshing. I think you said it in the last podcast. You said it's like a drink of water. Like
nice fresh water.
That's true.
I think, you know what's crazy? I think we needed both of them. Because it's been, I mean, we've been so busy and life's just been so crazy. Like, having those moments to just, like, breathe and take a deep breath. I think sometimes you need that. Even when other things are, like, on pause, Yeah. But...
And I think, even to digress a little bit back, guys, if you're trying to cope, if you recently lost someone and you're trying to process all of it, isolation is not the answer. Mm-mm. And I say that with love. Isolation is not the answer. Like, you've got to be around people you love. I'm so happy that we went. Like, I just can't explain it. I'm so happy that we went. I love all my cousins. I love my family. Man, like, it was something I know my grandfather would have been proud of us for. Like,
and you could just see, like, the joy on your grandma.
It was just so good. We went to the beach.
Oh, that was fun. And
what beach did we go to?
Newport Beach.
So
and
pretty.
It's crazy because when I was expecting we're gonna go to the beach, I'm thinking like the only beach I've been to is in Florida. Okay, yeah. So the water's warm, like it's hot whether you're in the shade or in the sun. Like, no, totally different experience. The water was ice cold. I didn't even get in.
I got in.
And if you're in the shade, you're cold, which is crazy because when you're in the sun, it's like, it's hot. But the water's too cold to get in. Yeah. It's not that hot. Yeah, but it
was great. My dad got in, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I think he got out immediately after, but it's just one of those experiences.
It was just so fun. Like everybody was there.
Yeah, it was good.
Like everybody. It was just like so like yeah.
I was grateful. Time. I was grateful too because these moments we're gonna cherish forever. And like,
and I want to be able to create more.
We put a lot of work into the celebration. That was also a really beautiful experience because I'm sure other people would have been like, "Man, all of that's so extra," but I'm telling you, there's a photo out there that of all of us, and. It's my favorite photo now. Maybe we can put it on the screen. Yeah. Well, I'll shove it on there, but it's my favorite memory now. That
everybody together.
Right, that whole weekend. I mean, my Uncle Ruben had to fly back. That was the only thing, but it was like...
But like everybody was there that week. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody.
It was good. I had a blast. Yeah. I mean, like... Even like the De La Cruz side of our family, my grandpa's brother, man, he played and it was beautiful, and he plays the accordion, so it was like he brought his band out, and I was talking to my cousin Steve, and you just talking about how cool he is, and there's just so much richness in that coming together as a family. That's why I say, like, when you lose someone, the first thing you need to do is not be isolated. You need to lean in with people you love. And if you don't have
you need
people
to process it, because if you just hold it in, and kind of, when we first found out, you kind of did that. Remember, we kind of talked about.
Oh, I shut down.
Yeah, you do that sometimes. Like when it's not like all the time, but like when it's something like big, you know, like. It's not good to shut down because then all those emotions don't build up and you don't process it.
You know, I caught myself too.
Yeah, and you did, and you were like apologizing to me, and I'm like, you don't need to apologize. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
You know, it is hard. I couldn't imagine going through losing my grandpa, you know, either of them. And like, it's good that you recognize that. Like, if you find yourself like not processing it, you need to process it, whether maybe you need to process it by yourself, which is fine, but don't stay in that by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you can process it, give yourself just a little bit of time to yourself to process it, you know, if you don't want to be around people, you know, however you process that. You know, but then like you're saying, like, find someone.
Yeah, just you can't stay isolated, because it was saying. Like it was the love that I received from our family, and obviously people who knew my grandfather, that really just, it helped. It genuinely helped, you know, and I did shut down.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was upset. I was angry, but it was the fact that we went and it's funny. It was a scramble, really, because it all happened so quickly, and then before you know, we had
I felt like it was so fast. It was so fun.
But it was, you know, we made
the most of it.
Yeah, we made the most of it, and not a moment went by that we felt like we were wasting time.
Like, I wasn't ready to go home.
I wasn't either.
Like, I wanted to stay so bad because it was just like, I don't know, it was just so fun. But I know like everybody else was leaving and you know, so.
I was gonna say where we at time wise.
Got 5.
Okay, cool. We've been doing good.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you feel that you need someone to talk to,
whether you've lost someone or not,
I would say reach out to, find a church. I'm sure there's people who would love to pray for you or encourage you.
Or if you have
love on you.
If we can pray for you in any way, like,
if we
reach
can pray
out
for you,
on our, whatever.
We could totally do that. We don't care to talk to you or encourage you. Like I said, I'm still processing all of it. I don't have it all together. But I know what's been helping me is like I've been taking the memory of my grandfather and I've been saying,
making
okay,
it good.
I'm turning it into something special. Like I'm gonna take his memory and like I'm gonna do what he would have done, right? I'm gonna step out on faith. I'm gonna take a risk. We're doing that with Cedar Sessions. We're gonna do that with this next thing we're gonna do. We just want to do something that at the end of it is a legacy, and it's not just he lived, he died. Like no, like he's gonna keep living, but he's gonna keep living in our hearts as we do things for other people. Yeah. See, my uncle said something really cool. Is that my grandfather is impacting the nations right now, and we don't even realize it. And what he meant by that was because he impacted my life. If I impact 5 people, and those people impact 5 people, that's my grandfather's work in our life that led to their life change. And so it's like my grandfather is impacting people to this very day still. Yeah. So that we're taking that and we're using that as fuel for our fire, and it was really good. And so thank you guys for listening. Yes. We know this was a little bit heavier, but we do want to encourage you and let you know that if you want to talk and you feel like we're the people to talk to, we would love to talk to you, encourage you, love on you. But if not, find someone that you can talk to. If that's a therapist, let it be a therapist. If it's a pastor, if it's a trusted friend. But don't go to people who have no business being in your business. Don't go to people who have no idea of what you're going through. Talk to people who've been there and have sat where you sat. So thanks so much for listening, guys. Again, catch us on Spotify or wherever else you
YouTube.
Check us out.
Yeah. Check us out.
Have a blessed day.